Florida's Republican turned independent governor Charlie Crist. Crist is set to leave office in January after losing his race for Senate to the Florida's Tea Party candidate Marco Rubio. But before he does, he is considering at least one high-profile pardon, a posthumous pardon for Jim Morrison, the lead singer of The Doors. Morrison was charged for indecent exposure during a now infamous concert appearance in Miami in 1969. Morrison died while his conviction was on appeal and still pending. In our spotlight tonight, Florida Governor Charlie Crist. Jim Morrison has been dead for decades. He was convicted of indecent exposure in Florida during a concert, apparently, according to the court's finding, exposing himself. Even there, the evidence is questionable. There's no real photograph of it and all that. What makes his case of interest to you to the point where you're actually considering it, given that if we're going for posthumous and historic pardons in the history of Florida, surely there are more egregious violations of justice in our system than the Jim Morrison conviction?
Well, it's one that's brought to your attention. And just like in any profession, things that come to your desk you deal with. This was brought to my desk a number of years ago, started to look at it then. And the more I looked into the case, the more briefings I got about Jim Morrison and what happened that evening, the less and the more flimsy the evidence appeared to be. And I'm a former attorney general. I believe in justice. I think we need to do what's right when you have the opportunity to do so. And because the people of Florida were kind enough to elect me 4 years ago, I sit in that chair now. And that's the reason why.
I mean, he was convicted of this at a time when strippers were on stages in Florida here and there, right? I mean, how did it even happen?
They're probably still there tonight.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how did it, do you understand how he could even have ended up getting prosecuted for this at that time?
Well, I think it was a sign of the times to a degree. I mean, Anita Bryant was around. They had a huge meeting at the Orange Bowl to say, you know, what was decent, what was indecent. The fact of the matter is this. There were no photographs that showed him, you know, being indecent. There was no video. And when you talk to members of the band, they will testify to the fact that there was no indecent exposure that actually occurred. The guy took his case on appeal. While he was appealing the case, he dies tragically in Paris, France. And before the appeal and the conclusion could come to bear, there was no result. When I became Attorney General, my predecessor, Bob Butterworth, told me something very important, that it's very important to prosecute the guilty, but probably more important to exonerate the innocent. That's why I'm here.